Since you have mentioned about non-performing asset, if we talk about NPA problem in India, as per data quoted in the latest economic survey that I was reading, the public sector banks account for around 92% of the cases of fraud. A large majority, 92% of those, suggesting poor quality of screening and monitoring process for corporate lending adopted by public sector banks. What are your thoughts on it?
It's a complex issue. And number one, I think, let us be clear. You started with the NPA problem and you have moved to fraud. Yes. Now, 92.9% of the fraud. So now, number one thing, every NPA account is not a fraud. Yes. And every fraud case is not a credit-related case. So first, let us be clear what we are talking about. We are talking about NPA, we are talking about fraud. These are two different things.
Yes.
Moreover, I don't know, 92.9% is amount or number of cases?
So, this is number of cases.
Okay. So, number of cases, there will be smaller amount cases which will be typically with the public sector banks, so number will be larger. But anyway, without going into this data point or some of the inconsistency, complex issue in the sense I said, we have to little bit go into the history. See, post 2008, post GFC, global financial crisis, there was, again, certain measures were taken. There was ample liquidity. It coincided with the same time that the infrastructure was taken as a big area for the boosting the economic growth. And that the PPP model was introduced, public-private partnership. Before that, DFI as an animal had vanished from the scene. There were no, development financial institutions. System was flushed with liquidity, and for the banking community, it looked like a very attractive opportunity to deploy the large funds in these kind of products. Agree, they didn't have much of experience of doing, the project financing. And many of these things were driven from the controlling office of the bank, because it is easier to do that. So, and on the other hand, most of these projects were handled by a handful of the promoter groups. You can count them on fingers. So things started with a right note. I won't say that the seed of this being bad or being fraudulent were sown at that stage. But as the time progressed, 2-3 things happened. Number one, many policy issues came up, which resulted into delay in the projects, cash flow projections going haywire. Second, as more and more opportunities were coming, and as there were a handful of promoters, obviously the equity available was also limited. And I think at some point of time during this journey, many of these promoters started becoming creative. Creative in the sense, they started thinking how you create or produce or present an equity which is non-existent, which is not there. And that is, the fallout which we have seen. These things were, of course, the share of public sector bank in the overall lending is higher. So their percentage in this was also higher. Moreover, as I said, that probably, yes, there we can say that they probably became more enthusiastic about it without really understanding this area of lending completely. Other thing which happened, if you look at is not that it was public sector banks only. There were few private sector banks also. Few decided to stay away from this financing completely. But few were very much into this, as there were other public sector banks. And they also suffered in the same extent. But there is only one difference. These private sector banks had the greater ability to mobilize the capital and clean their book quickly. So when they faced this problem, they kept on cleaning it and using the capital. Public sector banks had both the constraints. They didn't have the capital. When they didn't have the capital, they didn't have the ability to clean the book. So the incentive for them was more to postpone the problem, because you don't have ability to deal with the problem now.
No, yes.
And there also another thing played the role, because typically the tenure of a public sector CEO is short.
Yes.
So there is another incentive that you postpone the problem by the time terms gets over, and then is a problem of someone else. A
Yes.
private sector bank CEO won't have the same incentive because the problem today they have to face tomorrow also, and they have to face day after tomorrow also. So I think it was a combination of all these things which created what we have seen.